Good morning, everyone. Good. Everybody's awake. Dim lit rooms like this make me nervous. People start to doze off. It's an honor to be here today with everyone. I'm from Greenville, so it's always nice to kind of stay here in your hometown. For those of you who didn't know, before I was lieutenant governor, I was a businesswoman. Have a pretty large company here in Greenville. So the governor, when he asked me to be his second, kind of charged me with meeting with business, meeting with city leaders, finding out what South Carolina can do to keep growing business, to keep making sure economic development keeps flowing. And that's what I've been doing. And opportunity zones are playing a big part in that. You know, I got the opportunity to meet with a lot of businesses at the National Life Science Conference. And I'm happy to tell you that there are businesses from across the world lining up to call South Carolina home. And opportunity zones are very attractive to them. On top of our great way of life, on top of our ports, you know, this gives them an incentive. You know, I always talk a lot about Team South Carolina. And it sounds like a great hashtag, right? Team South Carolina. But it's something that we take very seriously. And opportunity zones are a great example of how that works. So our keynote speaker today, he was instrumental in opportunity zones. He's somebody we sent to DC, you know, to look out for South Carolina. Our governor took that opportunity to make sure we were the first state to submit our opportunity zones and have them approved. We worked with Commerce, and Commerce worked with our local governments. Local governments looked in their communities to find out what plots of land they wanted to make opportunity zones. We did a 25% rule to make sure that we had every part of the state, we were giving them the opportunity to have zones in their area. So that is how we work together. It's that cooperation and collaboration that really sets South Carolina apart. Rock Hill is a great example. There are numerous projects in the pipeline in Rock Hill. They're a great example of utilizing opportunity zones. They have a 265-unit senior housing development right now being negotiated. And that's wonderful because we always hear about housing, right? Housing being an important piece of the opportunity zone initiative. We're also talking with state housing and finance agency to work on workforce housing. We're trying to get the state legislature to give approval to some tax cuts like they're doing in Georgia and Missouri that complement the federal tax cuts when it comes to housing. And we're also working on an opportunity grant fund. So there's an opportunity grant fund in Commerce that allows an offset to localities that are using a third party to help them with opportunity zones, because it is new, right? And there's a lot of questions. So those are some really great initiatives that we're doing here in South Carolina. On top of that, we really appreciate the White House and what they're doing to support opportunity zones. We're especially appreciative of our Senator Tim Scott, for getting this legislation over the finish line, aren't we? Can we give Tim Scott a big round of applause? Let's get him excited, right, about coming out. And with that, I want to introduce to you our keynote speaker and the man who made this all possible, Senator Tim Scott.